Welcome back once again. So we were discussing about the handling of an acute disease and how that gets converted into chronic. In that, this particular chart, by the way, the PDF of this particular presentation will be shared with the participant. This particular chart is very important understanding from Nature Cure Fraternity about understanding the individual health condition in terms of progression of different stages of disease when it is subject to suppression. When it is subject to suppression. So try and focus understanding this particular graph. In this graph, the x-axis proposes the stages of disease. The x-axis proposes the stages of disease. The y-axis proposes the primary topic of this workshop, the vitality engagement. How much energy is engaged, and we all have limited energy. So with that limited energy, when it is getting engaged more and more, that could be leading us to different chronification of disease. So let's try and understand. So y-axis is the vitality engagement and x-axis is the stages of disease. Now A, B, C, D, E, F, G here also on the graph are different stages of disease. And these green ovals are triggers of spatial elimination. Triggers of spatial eliminations. The acute symptoms also could be associated with it, but body always tries to trigger some kind of spatial elimination to reduce the toxin burden. Any kind of elimination. If you closely look at any disease per se, you will find some or other eliminations going on. So elimination means reducing the toxin burden. Whatever is unneeded is being eliminated. So when the normal eliminations are not optimum, that time body brings spatial elimination in terms of cough, flu, loose motions, acute pain with or without fever, and obviously the fever are the examples of spatial elimination. Now, when we suppress that spatial elimination, when we suppress the spatial elimination, so these red arrows are suppressions, as you see. So I repeat, the green ovals are triggers of spatial elimination. The red arrows are suppressions, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G are the 7 stages of disease as proposed by Nature Cure. Proposed in Nature Cure. Now, A is well known. We have discussed about it. It is the start of the disease, which is depletion of energy or enervation. Now, when we continue with enervation, so enervation comes with the cues, cues of resting. And when we ignore those cues, we don't listen to the physical cues, the voice of the organism. These are the terms that we use about these cues. So when we deny that and suppress, then it leads to the toxemia, which is the B here. And toxemia also will bring a lot of initiatives to eliminate the toxin. And toxemia means toxin accumulation and experience of toxin. By the way, the toxin is not something which is universal. It is very much species specific, unneeded substance. And unneeded substance will be responded naturally by the specific organism with irritation. That is the identification of toxin. So toxin for human organism could be food for some other organism. So that way, nothing is universal toxin, but specific organism will respond to that with irritation, which is the third stage of disease. Irritation, because the experience of toxin is irritating always. And that is why no irritating experience is encouraged in the understanding of nature cure. Now, what are those irritating experience in terms of light? If we talk about the physical experience, because we are focusing on the physical experiences primarily. So the light, if it is the source of light, then the eyes are irritated. We cannot look at the source of light for longer period. So and we eventually, because of lot of ideation, we eventually stick to the screens which are sources of light. Right now I'm looking at my laptop screen, and many of you might be looking at your phone screen, which are basically source of light. So do we inquire that? Are we aware of this fact that this is actually source of light, made somehow attractive, and we are suppressing our irritation, which was supposed to be sensed at the eye level? Similar goes to any high pitch sound which gets converted into DJ. Put some rhythm into it, and high pitch, the response of the high pitch is the irritation through the ears. But somehow we are stimulated with some kind of imposed rhythm, and we suppress the sense of irritation. Similar goes for the food also. When we consume a chili, everybody can relate with it. Chili, otherwise singly, is irritating, and which is a non-food. Since it is irritating substance, no matter how natural it is not a food. But how we consume chili, we mix chili with some other substances and suppress the taste of chili. But that suppression will not remove the impact on the body. If we are consuming the chili, that will have an impact of chili on the body. And here also the impact of ideation that we can see, because the food combination is a product of idea. The food combination through which we make the taste attractive, we create taste to lure our taste buds. Those are the products of idea. So when we are affected by any created taste, that is not due to the product, the matter, but the idea behind that creation of taste. It is a P3 impact, and that is why it is looping, and we get addicted to that human created taste. This is a clear-cut understanding of vitality mechanism. Now, coming back to our conversation on our understanding of diseases. So the third stage is the irritation. When the irritation is also suppressed, when we have irritation in different parts of the body, and we try to suppress that particular pain I have to get rid of. If that is the idea that we get into, again the P3 affecting us, that I have to get rid of this particular pain now, no matter how I get it. Externally, I need assistance to get rid of this pain. So this leads to further chronification, which is inflammation. When the irritation is suppressed further, then the inflammation happens. Inflammation means confinement of toxin in one of the region of the body where that part of the body gets swelled up and the toxin gets accumulated there. So this is the fourth stage of chronification, or fourth stage of disease rather, and we can actually get, though the chronic can happen at any stage, but these are definitely the chronic, D, E, F, G. Sometime acute comes as spatial elimination during these phases, but D, F, G are experienced primarily as chronic. Now, inflammation, if we are probing into the inflammation with suppression, then the body tries to throw the toxin by tearing up the skin internally or externally. That is what is the ulceration. By making ulcer, the body tries to throw the toxin. So there is no skin disease as such. Skin is the largest eliminating organ, and whatever we term as skin disease are spatial elimination of the toxins. Whenever the elimination is over, the skin gets repaired on its own. So the skin disease, whatever we experience, are actually ulceration stage, and this is due to the endeavor of the body to throw out the toxin. Now, if we try to suppress this endeavor also, if we suppress this endeavor also, then the body leads into the hardening stage. This is what is the stonification that we experience. We get to hear about stones in gallbladder, stone in uterus, kidneys. So from where this stone comes? The stone, in geography we studied that soil, when it gets precipitated for years, then it becomes stone. The same thing happens within the body. Over the years, when toxins get layered and got hardened, it becomes stone. And the toxin got subject to repeated suppression, because body by its nature, characteristic wise, will try to throw the toxin. And all those endeavor of throwing the toxin is repeatedly suppressed on the name of treatments. So the hardening is the sixth stage. Further, when hardening is also suppressed through many means on the name of treatments, then the fungation or cancer stage happens, where it gets spread along the body, and the body is considered at that point in time as perishable for the sake of universal homeostasis. So homeostasis is maintained in any way. That may include individual organism, or the existence of individual organism may get perished also. The homeostasis will be maintained and is programmed to be maintained. And homeostasis is nothing but the balance, and which is nothing but the conservation of energy. So everything is constructed to conserve energy, unless we bring idea to go reverse and conflict. Right. So this is the stages of disease. So I open the forum for question and reflection. Yes, Nandini.
So I was asking that about this stonification, like these gallbladder stones and all that, people get these things removed.
Yes.
So what happens after that? Because the body in its intelligence has, confined all the toxins in that particular bladder, or, in these various areas, and that organ itself is removed. So, so that way the body should be working more efficiently then.
More efficiently, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying more efficiently because the organ is completely gone and, the toxins were confined in that area.
Yeah, that organ did have a contribution in the living organism, right? That organ which was removed. What about the functions of that organ? That's the
Yes,
number one.
definitely. Definitely.
Yes, yes,
It had
and
other functions which maybe we don't know of, or it is not appreciated. And it is just removed because everybody seems to be doing this, and then they seem to be taking some pills uh, to help the body manage with the secretions of that particular organ, or whatever
yes, yes.
which has been
To
removed.
supplement that secretion of
Supplement, yes.
yeah, yeah. But that supplementation is always limited to the human exploration. What about the unexplored functions that are not being supplemented? That is definitely compromised because the exploration is never complete. The human exploration, whatever we explore, considering that these are the functions of that particular organ of the body, and let's supplement it with some kind of chemicals outside, from outside. So it's never been a complete exploration. It's a part exploration and concluded as whole. So this is another idea that we soak into, get into believing that those proposed ideas. Yes, Amritma.
Kalyanji, you are talking about the stages of disease over here, and specifically when you mentioned about fungation
Yes.
and the cancerous growth in the body, where you say it's perishable. So, what about people who getting themselves treated and getting into remission?
Yes, yes.
So, what is that then?
See, these are the stages touched by the body and reversing by itself. You know, according to the understanding and the proposals of Nature Cure, these A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are the different stages actually available at different parts of the body. So right now, when we are talking, everybody of us do have different stages of the body, and it gets reversed also on its own. So the perishability that we talked about is the extreme point of no return. But the initial touching of the G point will get reversed by its own also, and the reversal happens according to the proposal in the same pathways. So G goes to F, that means fungation goes back to the hardening, then back to the ulceration, inflammation, irritation, toxemia, and innervation further. So it's not that fungation means it is the end of the individual, but there are some points of no return. Yes.
Does this hold true for the stage 4 cancer?
Well, stage 4 cancer is not understood or identified in Nature Cure Fraternity, so we'll not be able to comment on that. But there is some point of no return, and we cannot identify the point of no return unless it is touched upon. So it is very hypothetical point of no return. So till there is life, there is hope. Hope in terms of the possibility of reversal, not any ideation of hope.
Yes, interesting. Because I'm asking from my point of view.
Yes,
right
yes,
now,
yes.
I am being treated for stage 4.
Yes, yes, those are the medicinal terminology which are not at all conclusive according to this natural understanding. So, till the time we are alive, there is a possibility of reversal, and the point of no return is identified in Nature Cure Fraternity or natural health understanding also. But the fact is, unless we are there, we cannot pinpoint what is the point of no return. So till we are alive, we have the possibility of reversing it. And reversing can happen only with a single thing, which is the conservation of vitality. If we are consistent naturally, if we are consistent naturally in our conservation of energy, then the reversal is a byproduct.
want to explore this further, Kalyanji. Really
Yes.
want to explore this further.
Yes, yes, definitely we can, since you're traveling as you communicated, so we'll catch up offline and explore together the areas of ideated sensation in particular. Ideated sensation is the primary cause of depleting vitality. So if we can work upon that, then a lot of conservation can happen as a byproduct.
Much obliged, much obliged.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So yes, Joy, you can bring your questions if it suits, or any other reflection from anyone.
Then I would like if in future, I mean tomorrow's session, if you can touch upon the ideation about this fear of life and death.
Yes.
Like person
Yes.
is so fearful of dying that he does all sort of means to go on living in spite of any stage of disease he may be.
Yes.
So why we have that much of fear and all those ideas about life and maybe our balanced vision is not there. We have a lot of understanding of
Let's
death and
take up.
fear is not there.
This is a very deep topic. Let's take up in the next session also, if possible, because we'll not take up any other further topic today as we go on. But
First, we can discuss Joy's topic,
yes,
then
yes,
we
yes.
can.
And I request others also bring some proposal or reflection so that we can inquire together, because this inquiry based workshop is not about a monologue from one side being poured into as information. Those are actually burden and overwhelming, confusing many times. So unless we bring some real situation led proposals and inquire together, it will not be clearing. It will not bring a lot of clarity. So I'm sure you guys will be bringing. So Joy, are you there?
Yes. I'm here only.
Yes, sir.
I had some like questions because my father had been a psychiatric patient since long, and I could understand the suppression thing what you said. It was quite evident from the history of my father, like he was on heavy medications, which led to eventually so many side effects. Like he gained weight with the valproic acid. After that, he had compressive myelopathy, C3, C4, disc bulging, had to be operated at Apollo Chennai. Means numerous. He had a posterior circulation stroke and treated at PGI Chandigarh. Again, he got urosepsis because of these medicines only. Because of his heavy psychiatric dosages of benzodiazepines, valproic acid, and numerous other medicines, which he continued throughout his life. And only in 2019, when his medicines intake was reduced to a very large extent, that these side effects subsided. But again, the criticality of his illness is resurfacing nowadays. He's 68. Now it is becoming very difficult for us to manage him actually. And moreover, the medications which he used to have in the past, we have tried that also. Now we have to try because there is no other option because of the severity of his illness. But nothing is effective.
Yes. So first of all, regarding the psychotic conditions, it's very
Yes.
difficult condition for the caregiver to manage. It's
Yes.
very essential because this inquiring approach is individual driven approach. Unless the individual understands and inquire himself, the impact of conservation cannot be experienced by the individual as a byproduct. So I cannot inquire on behalf of you. You cannot inquire on behalf of your father. So this thing needs to be understood to begin with.
Yes.
And then the caregiver, if the caregiver is an inquirer, then there is a lot of scope for the caregiver to stay poised and give optimum care to the individual. Now, this
Yes.
care in terms of the physical care, physical presence is the optimum care. So we don't mean here the caregiving means giving a lot of medicines, providing a lot of doctors around and all those things. Maybe termed conventionally care, but the human care is giving the agendaless presence with the individual.
I get
And
that. Very
actions
good.
will be emerging. Actions will be emerging out of that presence, out of that proximity. Because when you are present to the individual, whatever the need arises time to time, one will be extending that care. That need not to be planned, that a checklist that, okay, I have to do this in the morning, then in the afternoon, and in the evening. Those are very much mechanical, you know. Those are not
Yes.
human care. So
Yes.
that's what we can inquire. And anyone else, it can reflect upon these conditions. Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. We hear you. Yeah.
Recently, a few months ago, my compounder's wife, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, according to medical fraternity. He told me, sir, my partner, she is facing this problem. She is laughing her own. She started talking with her own. Then I asked, what you want? Sir, किसी psychiatrist को दिखाना है. मैंने बोला, it's okay, fine, go with. And then they started few antipsychotic medicine. She started put on weight in 3 months, 8 or 10 kg of weight she put on, and again they went for thyroid function test, and previously it was okay. Now thyroid dysfunction was there. Then they asked me what to do. Then I asked again, conserve the vitality and the things will be okay. Spend some time with her, go morning walk with her, and he is Mohammedan, so lot of non-veg diet in their food. I asked them to reduce that and more veggies and fruits and salads. And right now she is okay, doing well without medicine. She left medicine for last 2 months and everything is normal. This thyroid parameter is normal and she had reduced her weight, good bowel, bladder, appetite and sleep. That's all. So they are spending some time together in the morning walk and had chat in the evening, and that is working well. So
Beautiful. So yeah, Joy. So coming back to the aspects that you raised, that how to deal
Yes.
going further. So the first of all, at the idea level, how you as caregiver look at the treatment. Look at the treatment
Yeah.
as solution. Whether you really consider those treatments as solution or not, this is a very important question that you have to ask yourself.
Yes.
Will this lead to a solution, or is it giving a patchwork or a momentary solutions to us?
Exactly.
Now, when you address those questions, when you inquire those questions, lot of things will be addressed, and while addressing, this is very important to look at something which is unnatural without demeaning that existence. Because we normally, what happens, since we are practicing nature cure, natural hygiene, we start demeaning the medical fraternity. And that demeaning is a conclusion at the sensational level due to a lot of ideas.
True.
Because depending upon the interpretation and the situation, people may have this as solution for their life, and you never know, you know. So,
Yes.
and we also, if it is not a medicine as chemical, but we also have lot of things in our life which you have concluded, and concluded with assumption that is there in our life. Like, for example, the use of this laptop and gadgets. We know that it is a source of light and it is irritating, even though we are using it. Right. So, time to time, we may keep using the things which may be unnatural, but that doesn't mean that we should look at those things demeaningly. Because
Yes.
what is the impact here? The moment we look down to something, there is a sensational aspect that is going on within the P3, P2 loop, and which depletes our energy. And the moment the energy is compromised at some area of life, my understanding of the things is compromised further, because understanding needs energy, a lot of energy. So when we explore something absolutely on the basis of facts, the understanding goes deeper, and lot of revelations happen, and miraculous
Yes.
revelation, quote unquote. Like, it's not actually miraculous, but maybe for a bystander's point of view, it is a miraculous revelation.
Yes.
So I propose that we can definitely catch up offline and discuss further on this. But
Definitely.
definitely, I'd like to propose you that you must look at the medicine and this whole initiatives of treatment, that where it leads.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I
I
tell
have
you,
this experience. What Dubey sir told, that stopping the medicine gave more fruitful results. I do have that experience also. Means with severe medications, my father put on really huge weight, and once I stopped it and started guiding him by my close proximity, by my presence, he started like losing weight, and he used to pass motion once in 7 to 10 days, which I brought down to, I think, one day. Now he's passing motion in one day only. Otherwise, he used to drink lactolose and all those things heavily, and used to pass motion in 7 and 10 days. Now that those things are fine. Now those things are fine, have become like normal. But now I am encountering new problems. Now with the means he's getting more older. Like he's now 70. I'm talking about when it was in 60. He was in 60 2 years back. It was easily manageable. But nowadays I am facing some difficulties to manage without medications.
yes, yes,
Like if I increase the dosage or increase the medication, he'll have more side effects. He'll have more. The more I try to suppress, the bigger his problems goes.
yes, 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 yes. And another
Even
fact
I
that is,
had some even
yes,
I
please
had
go on.
some experience about managing one of our family members. She was on chronic medication for chronic schizophrenia. But what we did was giving her more time, attention, love, care. With that, the medication could be reduced very much. And what I felt that if the person was having lot of doubt, fear, then they go into their own shell of that schizophrenic thoughts and indifferent type. But if they are given love and care, presence, uh, and they are allowed to talk, even if they are talking rubbish, they are allowed to talk. Just you listen to them, and you put in your own positive um, attitude and some creative ideas, and going with them for the activities like walking, cooking
Yes.
together,
Few
and
seconds are left.
sharing such things. So that had I've felt lot of relief about a
Mm,
family member. So
yes,
I think Joy can do the similar thing of
Yes,
being
ma'am.
available and
Yes, ma'am.
reducing the medication. Definitely
Yes, ma'am. I
medicines
completely
should be
agree with you.
reduced,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
basic minimum, just be available, give love, care in multiple physical level, emotional level, and just listen to all their rubbish